Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? I know it's a Friday. Everyone is waiting for the weekend. But let's end this Friday on a very nice note. So, we have a very exclusive session for y'all on mastering clinical data management, trends, tools, and career pathways. So, we are so thrilled to have you join us for this insightful discussion. Okay, so share this link with all of your friends, get as many people as you can to join in because it's going to be a very interesting session, insightful as well, and as usual we'll also be having some Q&A time, so that's why I'm asking you to tune in so that all your queries can be answered. So this is another one in a series of webinars that we have planned for you to share insights into the various career pathways that you can explore and make the most out of. Okay, because we are always pigeonholed into one or two things, so here you can see what other options you have available for you. So today we are talking about clinical data management. So what is clinical data management or CDM? So it's a crucial part of clinical research, ensuring accuracy, compliance, and efficiency in drug development. So clinical data management deals specifically with the information that is collected during clinical trials, and its aims are to ensure the quality, data integrity, and compliance with regulations and protocols. So, with technologies evolving and so much industry demand, CDM professionals also have a high demand and they play a vital role in shaping the future of healthcare. Now, CDM is essential for efficient, compliant, and high quality clinical trials, leading to faster and safer drug approvals. So, this is why it is important. So, to guide us through today's session, we have two distinguished experts with us. So, who are they? So, we'll be starting today's session with Miss Shweta. So, she's a clinical data management expert here at Biotecnika. Hello, ma'am.
Hi,
Thank
good
you so
evening,
much for
all.
joining us. Yeah. So, Shweta ma'am is an expert in clinical data management, regulatory affairs, and drug safety. She has experience working in companies like TCS, Aston Carter, and Eversun. I'm sure you've heard of these. We also post vacancies from them on our website. She's also a former regulatory affairs specialist manager, leading a huge team of regulatory associates, and she has extensive experience in regulatory reporting, audit readiness, and compliance for global clinical trials. So I've thrown a lot of terminology and words at you. I can assure you, as the session progresses, you'll understand what these terminologies are. Now, last but not the least, we have our second speaker for the day, who's Miss Priyanka. So she is a clinical research and regulatory affairs expert. Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us
Hello.
today.
Thank you.
Okay, so more about Ms. Priyanka. So she has over 13 years of experience in clinical research and regulatory affairs. She holds a master's in clinical research and regulatory affairs, and she's worked with companies like Cognizant, IQVIA, Syneos Health, and now she's working at Sun Pharmaceuticals. So all the top companies that you've heard of. So we have the experts from there right here with you to help you and give you their expert opinions. So currently, she's a manager, clinical data coding in the global clinical development department at Sun Pharma. So she specializes in clinical data management, regulatory compliance, and optimizing global trial standards. So how will this session work? So this is around an hour or so. So in this session, we'll be covering a deep dive into clinical data management, its significance, the latest trends, technologies, career pathways, and all that you need to know about clinical data management. And if time permits, at the end, we'll have a short Q&A session. So that's why I'm encouraging you to make a note of all your queries, post it on the chat box, and then we'll resolve it for you at the end, or as the webinar progresses, automatically it will get resolved. So stay tuned, engage with us in the chat, and get ready for an informative session. So let's begin. Without further ado, I'll hand over the reins to Ms. Shweta.
Hi, good evening, all. She has already given a good introduction of why I don't have to speak much about myself. But then I'll just speak about CDM today. CDM is a field where there are jobs are endless. You find jobs in every field. Every bit of CDM has different roles to offer y'all. And then CDM now is one of the trending jobs you'll ever see on any job portals right now, because this is not that means they don't only offer jobs, but they also offer work life balance for everybody out there. So I think working into this field, this CDM and regulatory affairs field, will help you all a lot, having your work life balance plus having a proper workplace work culture. Any company you look, any big company, any startups you look into, CDM has a very good work culture. Without like explaining much about CDM, I'll just present my presentation that I have for today and explain more about this CDM. So, clinical data management, that is understanding clinical data management and its importance. I'll not be able to quote its importance in just 20 minutes, and we will not be able to understand the complete clinical data management, but I'll make sure that you at least understand a part of it so that you get curious to know what exactly it is. Let's start. This clinical data management did not begin today, okay? This has begun long back in 1970s. So it is not like today we are talking about clinical data management, but there are records which are maintained in 1970s, almost from 1800 years also. This is actually what is clinical data management is actually when you develop any new pharmaceutical product that needs to be marketed in the market or published in the market. This pharmaceutical product may be a drug, may be a device, may be some any other thing related to pharmaceutical background, needs to undergo a process which is called as clinical trial. So in this clinical trial, there are different phases. There are four different phases, and in these four phases, the safety and efficacy of that pharmaceutical product is tested, and then it is launched. Now, after the launch, the job does not end there. We also work after the product is launched. So we not only develop a very good product for human beings, pharmaceutical product for human beings, but we also make sure that the product is completely safe and effective for use. So what are the key components of clinical data management? That is protocol design, data collection, and database design. So, in simple words, protocol design means planning everything beforehand. So, these clinical trials take place for almost 15 to 20 years. It is not one day job, or you do not get approval in just one single day. So, to carry out these clinical trials for these long years, you need a proper plan, you need a proper setup, you need proper information for that particular clinical trial to be carried out, and that is known as protocol design. Clear specification, clear specifications, reduce data variability, well-defined inclusion or exclusion criteria are essential. Then we have data collection. So we are carrying out these clinical trials for so many years, that is 15, 20 years, to get approval of that particular pharmaceutical product. We need to make sure that every bit of data is collected. Now, who does this? The CDM professional does it. So, and who approves that collected data? It is the regulatory affairs person who approves that particular data. So, it is not that collection starts after the clinical trial, but even before the clinical trial, during the clinical trial, and after the clinical trial. So, data collection plays a vital role throughout the clinical trial process. So, use case report forms and ECRFs reduce data entry errors. Now, what is case report form? It is a proper form which has all the information related to I'm sorry, which has all the information related to the clinical trial or that particular phase or that particular study. Now we have trained site personnel on to carry out these procedures. It is not anybody can go and collect the data. These are the CDM professionals who go and collect the data. Not means we are that important that we need to be vigilant that to that extent where we collect the data properly and maintain it properly. Then we have a database design, that is developed a robust, secure and compliant database. CDISC standards reduce data integration time. Now this CDISC is particularly for this notified body, or this regulatory body is particularly for India. Now, what is database design? This is not like you just collect your data. The protocol design happens, then the collection of data happens, then we have a proper database design. Now you all nowadays use WhatsApp, use Instagram, use Facebook. That data, you have that as you use it as a database. You have everything that you chat with your friends, that data is there. You delete it for some reasons, but then you also keep it for some reason, so you have that proper data, right? So like that, we also have a proper database design for the collected data. Now there are different platforms for this database design. There are different tools that are used. To learn more about the tools, to learn more about these platforms, you can enroll our Biotecnika CDM course. We'll discuss more over there. Then we have data collection and validation. So what does this data collection and validation means? So whatever data you have collected, you need to validate it. You need to see if that data is correct, if it is if it is as per the standards. So that particular part is called as data validation. So data collection, I already told you all. This can be done directly, that is manually on papers. This can be done electronically using the EDCs, that is electronic data capture systems, or this can be done, the data can be collected even through our mobiles apps or portals. So this mobiles apps and portals mostly work for medical devices. For drugs and all, we have proper EDC systems. Then we have data validation. The next step after data collection is data validation, where we validate the data. We do real time checks for the data that has been entered, and we see if it is as per the compliance, the regulatory compliance. So implement real time checks during data entry, use automated rules for expected ranges. I'll just give an example over here. Say, for example, your heart rate needs to be in some range. If it is out of that range, then we consider it as like the data is wrong, right? The data is something wrong. Now I have my name written as Shweta Birajdar on the form, and then somebody, and I am taking part in a clinical trial which is related to pregnancy, and that person might mistakenly enter my gender as male. How can a male take part in a pregnancy clinical trial study related to study? So these mistakes are validated, checked, and corrected then and there. This was just an example. I'm not pregnant. I'm not taking part in some clinical trial which carries out studies related to pregnancy. Now, the third part that we have is query management. That is, we address the queries that have been raised by the regulatory authorities when we submit our products for approvals, and we like address them and we resolve them then and there. We have a proper track, and we resolve these queries for data accuracy, and we make sure that the data is not inconsistent. Then CDM also has a one process called as data cleaning, where we clean the data, we reconcile the data, and we lock it for approval. So, what is database cleaning? That is correct errors and inconsistencies, standardized data formats. It reduces the risk of statistical errors. So this data cleaning actually means making your data consistent enough to get your approval. Now, who does it? CDM professional does it. So see, we are in demand here also. Then we have data reconciliation, that is compare data from a different source, resolve discrepancies between data sets for inconsistencies. Then we have database log, that this is the final step, declaring that the data that we have provided is complete. Now there will be no more changes into it. That part is called as database log, the final step declaring that the database complete. And now, once we lock our data, once we say that the data that is provided is consistent enough, is accurate enough, now this does not have any discrepancies, now we are audit ready. Now, audit is very important to get any approval. So, this audit, when the auditors come to audit your documents or we submit our documents for approval, who does this again? Who is important over here? The CDM professionals are important. Who will submit these documents? Who will keep an eye on the findings that come from the audit people? It is the CDM person. They will resolve their queries. They will tell, no, this has means this is being carried out in this way. So these are the documents that give you a proof that these tests have been carried out for a particular drug, for a particular device. So we again play a vital role over here. Then we have role of technology and automation in CDM. Though automation has come, means has been a part of clinical trial now, sorry, CDM now, but even after having automation, there are many fields across in life science where automation has come, taken part, has come in their life, and they have lost their jobs. But CDM and regulatory affairs is a field where even after automations have happened, they need humans to see the data that they have. They need humans to correct the data that they have. So automation does not completely take over our jobs, or we are not thrown out of the market like anything. There are many fields in other, I'm not discouraging the other fields, but there are many fields where automation has come in their lives and they have lost their jobs. But CDM is a field where may what come, they need humans. So this is a very secure field when it comes to jobs. So role of technology and automation in CDM, that is we have EDC systems, data integration and automation tools. Now, what does EDC system do? That is, they improve data quality and reduce errors. Now, EDC means electronic data capture. The data is captured electronically. The data is collected electronically. Examples are Medidata, Rave, Oracle, Viva Vault is there, Redcap is there. Many EDC platforms we have. Every company, as per their needs, as per their roles that they are playing, they use different EDCs. Now we have data integration, that is integrate data from multiple sources. That is, clinical trial do not happen at one place. They happen at various regions. The distribution of regions can be based on demographic, can be based on the need or the outcome that we are expecting. So the data is collected from various clinical trial sites and the data is integrated and the data is made audit ready, or you can say approval ready. CDS standards improve efficiency. Now we have automation tools, that automated checks are there. And this, what happens over here is the queries are routed automatically, the data is entered automatically, the data is extracted, data mining is done automatically, so that we have to just give a final approval. So automation tools, there are different automation tools. Every company again uses these tools based on their needs, their requirements, and all those things. We ensure that the data that we have provided is accurate enough. So how does this happen? There are three different things through which we make sure that the data quality that we are providing is accurate, is consistent, is ready for approval. Now, the first thing that we use is Alcoa principles. This Alcoa word is splitted. That is, the A stands for attributable, L stands for legible, C stands for contemporaneous, O stands for original, and A stands for accurate. Now, you'll do a little bit of research on this Alcoa principles. You'll understand how clinical data management is playing a vital role in today's human lives. Now we have key quality metrics, that is completeness, accuracy, and consistency, measure data across different sources. Now, whatever data comes from different clinical trial sites or different study sites, we make sure that it is complete, it is accurate, it is consistent. Now, I have been repeating these words because the main job that we do is having the means completing things, making things accurate, making things consistent. By things, I mean the documents. Then we have quality control field where regular audits, trainings, and continuous improvement is there. In clinical data management, we ensure data managers are certified. Now, the people who are approving our data, we do not pick anyone and say approve our data. These are certified people, not, they do not do like any course and then get certified, but they are so well trained, they are certified enough to understand every simple inch that gets mistaken. So these people, who are these again? These are again CDM professionals. See, we have a job at higher levels also. It is not only at the data entry level or the mid level, but at the higher post also, we are playing a vital role over there. So, what are the standards and compliance? There are different standards that are used during the clinical trials or clinical studies or CDM. These are CDIS standards, that is SDTM and ADM, improved data sharing and regulatory submission. Now, SDTM is study data tabulation model. I'll not go much deep in this because this is a very different topic and a very huge topic. Then we have FDA 21 CFR Part 11, that is, this is for electronic records and signatures. Then we have GDPR, that is data privacy and security. Now, any person who is taking part in the clinical trial, his or her identity is maintained, means confidential. By any ways you will not be able to decode that person's identity, whatever. Even if a hacker comes over here, he'll not be able to decode that person's identity. It is that confidential. So we have HIPAA, protection of patients health information. Now, the person does not randomly take part in a clinical trial. He has to go undergo, he or she has to go undergo different tests, different steps to take part in a clinical trial. And once that volunteer passes all these things, then comes the picture of informed consent form, where everything that will happen during the clinical trial is informed to that patient or informed to that volunteer who is taking part in clinical trial. So again, who does this job? The clinical data management people do it. So the whole conclusion, or you can say the importance of clinical data management is, you play a vital role everywhere. You are like gods when it comes to this field. You are treated like heavenly sent fairies and angels over in this field, because you have that knowledge, you are mastering that knowledge to make that data ready for approval. So, and this is not a simple type of job where you just click, you just enter data and the data gets approved. It is not like that. It requires a good amount of knowledge to get things approved. It requires a good background to understand what is clinical data management. For now, I have only this much to say about clinical data management. For more things to understand more about clinical data management, you can come to Biotecnika. They offer a very good course. I am done. We'll have a question answer session at the end after Priyanka ma'am ends her uh, presentation. She is actually a very knowledgeable person when it comes to clinical data management, or she's having a very good experience. You all can like follow her on LinkedIn and see what post she has, what is she offering as a human to us to understand more about clinical data management. So I'll just shift to her to take over. Priyanka ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much, Shweta, for the introduction and introductory session. It was really very insightful, and I'm sure the audience have definitely got the insight about CDM. Thank you so much. So first of all, thank you so much, Biotecnika, for calling me, for inviting me as a guest speaker for this session tonight. And I feel really very fortunate presenting myself, sharing my knowledge to the upcoming leaders. So thank you so much, Biotecnika team. All right, cool. So, good evening, one and all. Myself, Priyanka Lakde, and currently I work as the manager of clinical data coding at Sun Pharmaceuticals, which is a part of CDM. And I have, coming back to my educational background, I have completed my master's into clinical research and regulatory affairs from Sikkim Manipal University, and I have been fortunate enough to work with different topmost organizations in my previous experience, like Cognizant, IQVIA, and my last organization was Seniors Health. And currently, I work with Sun Pharmaceutical, which I just mentioned. So today, I am going to take all of you through. So I'm just sharing my screen. So just a moment,
Ma'am,
please.
you have to open the PPT. The screen is already shared. Can you just open the PPT?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you please confirm if it is visible?
Yes, ma'am. You can continue. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. So Shweta has given a good insight of what CDM is, what the process is, and what are the requirement of CDM. So let me take you through through the latest trends in the advancement in CDM. So what are the current happenings or the advancement that has happened over the years in the world of CDM? So, firstly, the disclaimer, this presentation is based on publicly available information. The views presented are the views of the presenter. The slides are intended for the educational purpose only. The content of this slide deck is accurate to the best of the presenter's knowledge at the time of production. All right. So, as we all know that the AI and ML is booming in every other field, and the clinical research is nowhere less in this, and definitely the CDM. So, the combination of this artificial intelligence and machine learning has brought the revolution in the process of clinical trial. By this has automated the complex task and has provided the easy solution. CDM is focusing on minimizing the human errors and standardizing the process by using this AI and ML. The AI-powered tool are accelerating the drug development by data cleaning, anomaly detection, and predictive analytics. This enhances the accuracy and efficiency of the service, and this builds the trust between the healthcare stakeholders. So this was about the AI and ML. Coming to the next, which is my personal favorite, that is decentralized clinical trial and digital health technologies. So, what is DCT or the decentralized clinical trial? So, DCT is a trial where some or all of the clinical trial activities occur at locations other than a traditional clinical trial site. That is, either at the patient's home or local healthcare facility or a nearby laboratory. DCTs often incorporate the digital health technologies. Now, what are these digital health technologies? These are the systems that capture the healthcare information for the clinical trial directly from the individuals. So, we are not using the EDCs here. So, DCTs are the healthcare information which are captured directly from the individuals. Many DHTS are portable instruments such as activity trackers, glucose monitors, blood pressure monitors, or the spirometers. These sensors can be wearable, implantable, or ingestible. DHTS also include the interactive mobile applications wherein the patients can rate their quality of life, pain, depression, daily functioning, or perform tests of functional performance such as cognition, coordination, and vision. The next one in the list is the blockchain technology. Now, what is this blockchain technology? So, as we all know, that in the clinical research industry, the data integrity is the foremost important element of clinical research, and this is where the blockchain technology plays role in. So, blockchain technology ensures the data integrity and transparency. Data stored on a blockchain is secure and cannot be altered. It provides the data security and clear audit trail, which is very important in clinical trial for all the data transactions. The blockchain technology helps in streamlining the multi-stakeholder with clinical research ecosystem. The next one is the integration of real world data or the real world evidence into clinical research. Now, what is this RWE? So, RWE refers to the insights gained from the data which is collected outside of traditional clinical trial, such as electronic health records, registries, wearables, and medical devices. Unlike the clinical trial data, RWE data is initially gathered for other uses and then it is repurposed for the research. So, here, if we see, we are not carrying out any particular clinical trial. However, we have the data which is collected from the electronic health record, like from the hospitals or from the registry studies or from the wearables. The real world data originates from many possible sources, including claim databases, patient reported outcomes, and other real world sources. Once gathered, these data are analyzed and interpreted, creating the real world evidence that can be used in clinical research. Now we spoke a lot about the trends, what are there in the CDM. Now let us see what are the recent or the emerging technologies in the CDM. So these days, cloud-based platforms are very much used in almost all the fields, definitely. And then yes, it is used in nowadays. It's been used very much in a larger scale in the clinical research industry as well. So what is this? Cloud-based. So cloud-based solutions offer scalability, flexibility, and cost efficiency, making it easier for the healthcare organization to store, manage, and access their data. These platforms help with the real-time data sharing, review, and approval among the different teams, speeding up the trial schedules. It is improving the cross-functional collaboration CDM. So you can see how effective the usage is of the cloud-based platform, specifically when we speak about speeding up the trial schedules. So these time we have a lot of hiccups when it comes to trial schedules and submitting our data or submitting our trial data to the regulatory body. So cloud-based platforms are definitely very much, a lot of advantageous when it comes to clinical research industries. So the next technology, which is again very much in trend, I can see, is the natural language processing, which is NLP. Now, NLP technology is being used to extract the valuable information from the unstructured clinical data, such as physician notes, radiology reports, and the patient narratives. NLP algorithm can interpret and categorize this data, making it more accessible for analysis and decision support. For instance, NLP can help identify the adverse events, extract the relevant data for research purposes, and assist in clinical coding. This technology improves the efficiency of clinical data management by automating the tasks that were previously very time consuming and error prone. The last one but not least, is the advanced data visualization. Now, what is data visualization? As you all know, you might have seen the data graphs and stuff, which is used in any other field. So these graphs are definitely very important when it comes to huge data or the big data. since data in the table is very difficult to analyze. So if we really want to see the data at in one go or in one graph itself, so advanced data visualization is something which is very much in boom again in CDM. So data visualization is the art of organizing and presenting the complex data in a simple and easy to understand graphic elements. Communicating insights well is very crucial. Advanced visualization tools are helping CDM professional explain the complex finding to non-technical groups, aiding for better decision making. So basically, these trends and technologies, as we have seen, that they're very helpful. So as it said, that these trends reflect the evolving landscape of CDM as the industry continues to embrace the technological advancement and innovative approaches to streamline the processes and improved the quality of clinical trial data. Now we have heard a lot from myself, from Shweta about all about the CDM and what is it about, what are the insights and what is the latest trend, what are the emerging technologies. Now let us see what is happening in the industry here. So I must say that it is very much in boom these days, and it has got a lot of opportunity in the industry outside. And I really I would definitely ask people to go for this particular course which Biotecnika is offering. I'm sure it's definitely helpful for all the people who are into this industry, and definitely for their career growth. So let us see what all things, what are the job skills that are needed for the CDM, what would be the career growth, and what are the job roles which are there in CDM currently. So the skills required for CDM. So we have seen a lot about the data, but of course, data is not just the data. So when it comes to data, it requires a lot of attention to details. So that skill is very important, I can say. I mean, to be very meticulous in what you see and what is reported. The next skill is organizational skills. So since you will be working on multiple projects, and to have a better, I can say, better submission or submission on time, the organizational skill plays a very important role. Problem solving ability for data management challenges. So as we have heard from Shweta, there is a lot of data, and there are a lot of things which comes into picture when it comes to CDM. Lot of challenges, I must say, it comes into picture. So this problem solving ability is very important skill for a successful data manager. Of course, the communication skills. So you have a lot many teams to interact, lot many discussions to go for, lot many sessions to attend. The communication skill plays a very important role, especially for the cross-functional collaboration. Again, the next one is the critical thinking. So when it comes to data, there are a lot of things, a lot of implications. The data is actually related to the life of people. I see. So in this case, the critical thinking is very important. So critical thinking for evaluating the data collection approaches. So this skill is again very important. And last but not the least, the project management. So this again is a very important skill that every successful data manager should have. Now, coming back to the industry, so what are the job roles? So if you plan to go ahead into this industry, so you should be aware about the job roles that the company is offering for a CDM. So of course, every organization have their different roles, the way they are as per their policies and stuff. But the basic role, I can just brief of the basic roles which are there in the industry as of now. So if you start at the entry level, so you can start either as a data entry specialist, clinical data associate, or the clinical data coordinator. So as you move up the ladder with the experience and by managing a lot of projects, you will be definitely be taking ahead the higher roles. That would be a mid-level roles, which actually has the role of clinical data manager. And the next one is, of course, the people who are actually managing the entire portfolios are at the senior level roles. So when I say the portfolios, it's like, managing multiple projects at one time. So these are actually handled by the senior level role. And the job roles which are available in CDM for the senior level roles are the senior CDM, the associate director, and the director of clinical data management. Okay, so that's it from my end. So again, thank you for having the patience and thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this insightful session. So, everybody who's watching, if you have any questions, please post them in the chat box and then we'll get back to you as and when the questions are read out. So, just a couple of key takeaways. It was very interesting to see what clinical data management is exactly about, and also the fact that now AIML also has come into the picture. See, AIML is all haunting us, guys. No matter what session we do, AIML does come into play. So this is how you have to keep yourself updated and abreast of what is happening. And then it was nice to hear from Priyanka ma'am about the different kinds of job levels. Like I'm sure even you would have seen our Biotecnika website. We do post about these data entry specialists, clinical data associate jobs, and all of that. And it's also one thing that stuck out to me was Shweta ma'am was saying there's a good work life balance. So Priyanka ma'am, any light you can shed on that? Is that true? Is there a good work life balance?
Yes, I can definitely see that there is a work-life balance in this, especially because this particular department I can see offers a lot of companies offer work from home.
Oh,
So that definitely gives, a lot of flexibility when it comes to work-life balance. So CDM is not again a traveling job or so. So it's a desk job. So it can be managed either from home, from office. So a lot of companies are offering work from home for this.
okay. So that's very nice to hear. So we've got a relevant question. See, Nisha Sharma, I think your question was answered. Can we get work from home jobs in clinical data management? And Priyanka ma'am said, yes, we do. We can get work from home jobs. So, ma'am, can you shed some light on what are the companies that people can look for? Like, we have
So there
IQ,
are,
IQ
yeah,
Sun Pharmaceuticals, and
yeah. So a lot of organizations offer CDM services. So basically, when it comes to clinical research, there are basically CROs and the pharma companies. So CROs are the ones actually get the project from the pharma companies like Sun Pharmaceutical, Amgen, Sanofi, AstraZeneca. So basically, these pharma companies offer, if they do not have that capability, they offer their work to the CROs. So when I say CROs, so currently the top CROs, I mean, there are a lot of CROs which are there in the available, like Seniors Health, INC Research, lot of, if you just browse it, you will get the list, the entire list of the CROs. So yeah, so these companies offer the role for the CDM, and of course the pharmaceutical companies, if they have the capability within in-house capability, they do offer the CDM jobs as well.
okay. So basically, there's no dearth. You will find something. There are lots of
Yes,
companies.
definitely, yes.
Yeah. So someone was asking, is there any age limit to enter this field? Triveni was asking that question.
Oh, no, there is no age limit as such.
Okay. So are there any barriers, ma'am, that you can think of to enter into clinical data management? Like,
There are no barriers, but yes, of course, like they actually look out for the people these days who have done their masters, bachelors from the biotech. I've seen people, a lot of people from the biotech, a lot of people from physiotherapies, a lot of people from these dentists,
okay.
lot of medicals and non-medicals as well are going for CDM because as we know the technology is actually getting at par these days, and
Yes.
CDM is nowhere less. So
Yes.
definitely, yeah.
Because I think few years ago, maybe it was my misconception. It was like, okay, clinical research, clinical data management is only like for pharma. So now I see like it's an intermingle, like you said, ma'am, like biotech, life sciences, anybody can go for it. So that's why I
Definitely.
was so it's fine. So, ma'am, any yes, Shweta, ma'am.
Three questions I would like to answer. This work from home jobs availability. It depends on the project, the company that you are hired for. Most 80% companies are giving work from home when it comes to clinical data management. This was the first thing. Second thing, Triveni Govind had asked that is there any age limit for entry level jobs in CDM? Now at Biotecnika, we are having people who are, I means I cannot disclose the age, but they are 40 plus, and now they are learning. They are curious to learn about CDM, and they have opted for this course, and now they are getting better options to work. And talking about the work-life balance, yes, when it comes to work from home, a lot of when it comes to ladies, it is becoming difficult for them to resume their career after the maternity leaves. But CDM is a field where, if you have a proper life science background and a proper life science education, you are into it. It is the BSc, MSc people, the B Farm, M Farm people, the biotech people are entering this field, and they are progressing themselves. So there's no age limit for this. You just need to have a proper knowledge to crack the interview. This was the second question. And the third question, the starting package, Nisha Sharma had asked. Now, about package, we cannot comment because package depends on the company again, the company that you apply. But 4 lakh plus is the starting package that you will be offered. This is the minimum that can be offered. Maximum depends on your interviewer, depends upon the education, depends on the background that you hold. And Shruti Pardeshi has asked, currently I'm doing MSc Biotechnology, then how can I enter into CD? Shruti, you need to have a course that Biotechnica is offering you. In this course, you will not only learn what is CDM, but there are different parts of this course where you learn the basics. For each and every word, you will be made to understand that word, and then the mid part comes into picture where you understand better terms about CDM, and then the last part where you actually work on tools and prepare projects so that you enter any company in the market, you are ready to do that job. So this is there. The fourth question, does entry level position require skills? Any work that you do in this world requires skills nowadays. If you have that skill, you are there into that market. So these are few questions that I could answer.
Yeah, and then we have someone asking teaching backgrounds. If they have a teaching background, can they get into this? I think that depends upon what your
Education
PhD
is,
level, I mean, degree is, right?
yeah, yeah. That
Okay.
depends on your education and what actual teaching background. Now there are different teaching backgrounds. Some are into academics, the institutions where they offer such type of courses, like Biotechnica is offering. Some are doing school teaching and all. Now we have 2 to 3 people in our course batch right now who are teachers, but now they are professors and assistant professors, and then they are like in collaboration with some academy for some other course, but they have some life science background. Now you will have to like talk to Biotechnica a little more in detail. We can see your resume and then decide that how can we move forward with you, or how can you move forward with CDM.
So, ma'am, are CDM and regulatory affairs and all of that interconnected?
Yes, these are like brothers and sisters, not from another mother, but the same mother. These are like the brothers and sisters of the same mother, and uh, like brothers and sisters fight for getting something done. CDM and regulatory affairs also fight to get the things approved. So it is like that.
Okay,
Very
so
true.
Hmm.
can people who have medical biotechnology, yeah, of course, I think you all can also enter into this field. Like ma'am said, medicos, non-medicos are also getting opportunity. And then someone asked, what do recruiters look for entry-level candidates applying for CDM roles? Priyanka, ma'am, any insight on that?
Okay, so as I just mentioned some time back about the skill set, so those skills are very important, especially when it comes to freshers. They actually see if the candidate is having that skill of looking the things in detail, or like some soft
So,
skills are very important. These soft skills,
right.
so basic skills are very important.
So
And
Nafis,
yes, I definitely like, whenever you go for the interview, especially for the freshers, do have, just go through the web, or, just have the understanding of what the clinical research is and how the things are. And I ask people to go for this course as well, wherein the details would actually be taught, so that they prepare the individual to give the interviews. So yeah.
Okay. So, ma'am, what
There's
advice
one
would you give?
question from Nia Sharma. She is asking, should we have good knowledge of computers as it is a data entry job? Dear, this is not data entry job, but the data that you are entering, you need to have various other skills to enter that data. So basic computer knowledge is required. Yes, Control C, Control V, the typing speed not that great, but you don't have to do some typing course to achieve that. But yeah, a little bit of typing, a basic computer knowledge is required. Now this is not simple plain data entry, it is understanding the data and then entering it. So you will have to master the skill of entering the data. This is not you see something and you type it and the data is entered. It is not like that. So this we cannot like go in detail now because this is a very big topic, but it is not simple data entry job. It requires skills, the soft skills and the hard skills. So it is like that.
Ma'am,
Um,
any Priyanka, ma'am, any advice you have for our up and coming students who are interested to get into a career of clinical data management? So, what can they do exactly?
Yeah, definitely. I really like, I these days the data management, clinical data management is very much in boom. And as we all know, and another benefit that CDM has is that you can travel across the world. I mean, wherever you go, whether you are working here in India or you're working in US, the clinical research will still be the same. It will not work different in US or in India. So basically, this is a global field. So you really don't have to do another degree or another course if you are working in another country. So that is another benefit that I think that the CDM has. And I really like ask the freshers to go for this, because as I said, like clinical research, especially after COVID, we have seen the clinical trial and clinical research. We have heard a lot about it. So it's
Yes.
definitely a good field to go for.
Yes, ma'am. It seems like it's an evergreen field. I've always heard of it, but then it was like maybe my misconception that only a certain section of people can join. But now
Yeah.
I feel like everybody has a chance. Like you said, medicos, non-medicos. That was a eye opener for me that they also get into this field. So it's a very diverse field, and it's
Very done.
encouraging to hear that you can still get into it, and especially talking about work-life balance, the fact that globally it's all the same, so that also takes a little bit of pressure off your back because it's the same everywhere, and immense opportunities. So I think this has been a very informative session, and on the eve of Women's Day as well, lovely to have two women here as our experts on this panel. So I think we can wind up over here. So thank you so much, Priyanka ma'am, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to do this for us. It was a very insightful session, and thank you for answering all of our queries. I had more questions actually. And thank you, Shweta ma'am, as well, for giving us a lovely introduction into what CDM is and answering all the hard hitting questions as well. So thank you, everyone. And before you leave,
Biotecnika
make
team as
sure,
well.
yeah,
Mm.
and make sure you check out the clinical data management training session that is going to start from the 10th of March, that is this Monday, by Biotecnika, the link for which is given in the description and in the comment box. So go check it out. So like ma'am said, everyone is saying, so it's an evergreen field. You can, any background can get into it. If you have a basic understanding of how, of life sciences or in that area, you can do this. And yeah, work on a little bit of your soft skills as well, as Priyanka ma'am has mentioned. So I think there's nothing more to it. Like this is the best confirmation you've gotten, and they've had so many years of experience, over a decade each. So I think yeah, clinical data management is the way to go. So thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Shweta ma'am and Priyanka ma'am.
So
So we'll
much.
end here, and we'll see you in our next session, guys. Take care. Good night. Bye bye.
Bye
Good
bye.
night. Happy
Bye.
Women's Day to everybody.